please remember to leave a like, a comment, share the video about, and if you haven't already, subscribe. Thank you. Well, isn't this just fantastic? Captain's Log, Subdates 230207.8. Our first meeting could have gone a little better. Thankfully, the Forks did not suspect us of any foul play, so a bit of a win in that regard. The original plan, though, of fail-safe via detonation stays in effect until I get what I came here for. Total aid. We came here for aid. You're going to notice a slight difference for today's video. I saw this piece of art on DeviantArt. It was shown to me last night, actually by one of my lovely mods. I thought, I'm going to use it in this video and link to the artist down below. Go check them out. On YouTube, everyone remembers the battle for subscriber #1 position between PewDiePie and T-Series. Eventually, T-Series did in fact win. It's quite amusing to me in retrospect because PewDiePie gets more views still than T-Series does. T-Series, as a channel with over 200 million subs, is kinda dead comparative to that of anyone else. Certainly when you consider the percentage of retention, i.e. views, growth, and their actual channel size. That's not good. For the sake of it, everyone believed though that PewDiePie was the biggest individual #1 creator. Until not so long ago, when another rose and took that throne. Not many contested this one though because it was a very different type of content, and that would be MrBeast. He had grown his channel from giving everything away, or giving away vast amounts of it. I remember watching his content when he would sit and donate thousands of dollars to streamers to do things or just to get a reaction. The generosity was quite something, and I will admit, if you want to give me some money, I'd love it. I'd be very happy with it. Regardless of that, he grew because he kept on giving away. He then changed the format a bit and started doing contests that mostly just featured the same friends. But over time he broadened his horizons and started involving himself in philanthropy and fast food. The philanthropy part was more environmental based, and it was fantastic to see where the money from YouTube would go to benefit others on a smaller scale, but showing it still could be done. Whether that be cleaning beaches, whether that be recycling, whether that be planting trees. These small gestures, to many of us, felt really good. It was nice to see when he did fundraisers through YouTube, the money actually went to where it was meant to go to see that charity work actually does accomplish something in the right setting when everything is on the table. Now granted, there are some, over the years undoubtedly with every creator, a number of controversies. I don't care about them personally with MrBeast. I've always taken the stance that what he does, to me, is good, and I see no reason to dunk on that, because I believe what he is doing is the right thing, although I will admit, your teeth are a lot whiter in the thumbnails than they are anywhere else. Have you considered perhaps, not having them so white, please? It draws attention from your eyes. If you are newer to my channel and are not familiar with English sarcasm, this on the screen now is a sarcasm sign. I would leave it on the screen for the entire video, but there are aspects of this where I want to be a little bit more serial. Recently, MrBeast highlighted a rather interesting issue concerning the medical field, aid for people who needed it, and then helped 1,000 people cure that problem. That, to me, was fantastic. There are many more people who need this kind of help. In fact, a lot of the issues are remarkably simple. It's just getting them done that's the problem. Either because people can't afford it, people can't have access to it, or because the service that would have access to it is restricted owing to the inability to get anywhere near a doctor, or in this case a form of surgeon, that can do a 10-minute operation and allow the person who is benefiting from this to live a better life because of it. Novel idea, I know, but in doing so, MrBeast incurred the ire of mainstream media and many critics on social media, and it cracked me up to no end. I'm a bit late to this one, by the way, because I thought if I let it die down a little, first of all, I won't get any views, which is perfect for this channel, right? But also, if anything else did come out, I could add it to the video. Turns out, no, I just left it too late. My mistake. Sorry, folks. In truth, it doesn't matter too much to me because my position is not going to change anytime soon, but I do want to go through some of the related tweets and articles that highlight these criticisms so we can best address them, along with any responses from MrBeast as well. So first, let's go to the trending tag for MrBeast. In MrBeast's next video, he's giving away 1,000 girlfriends to Twitter dudes who are having trouble acting normal on here. I had a nightmare that MrBeast had a YouTube channel called Mr. Greased, and I saw him in real life and he started running at me full speed, fully covered in vegetable oil. That sounds like a riff on the greased up deaf guy from Family Guy. I personally like MrBeast. The reason I do is because my TV recommends his videos to me on its main menu every time I turn it on. I consider it my patriotic duty to obey these content recommendations. I'm happy he blinded 1,000 kids for views. And finally, people are not complaining about MrBeast curing people. They're complaining about a system in which the richest and most powerful countries in the world could and should do this, but they don't so healthcare companies can make money. A sentiment I can fully agree with, but I live in the UK and we have the NHS, which doesn't work. It doesn't work because we don't have doctors. They have a rather unique system after COVID where instead they'll do phone consultations rather than in-person ones. They then prioritize complaints based on what they determine to be the more serial and least serial. Count Dankula tweeted, "Socialists seem pretty effing furious about a rich guy paying for thousands of medical procedures. I thought that's literally what they wanted," with some underneath questioning whether or not people are mad at MrBeast. When I archived the tweet though, those that Dankula replied with had deleted their original tweet, the Surf's TV being the more notable. Shame really, because it would have been nice to see the context to understand the problem. The Cavernacle tweeted, "I honestly think this tweet puts to bed the notion that MrBeast does good because he's a nice guy, when in reality it's always about growing his brand and being liked." Because MrBeast had responded to this by saying, "Twitter, rich people should help others with their money. Me, okay, I'll use my money to help people and I promise to give away all my money before I die. Every single penny. Twitter, MrBeast bad." Like Napster. Hunter Avalon retweeted Cavernacle with, "If someone grows their brand by materially benefiting people, that's good. By growing his brand, he's able to help more people. He is working within capitalism to benefit poor people in significantly larger ways than any virtue signaling socialist ever has." I think signaling has 2 L's, just to be clear. I do appreciate a good spelling. With my favourite reply to Hunter Avalon being, "But Hunter, have you considered that by making people's lives better, he is prolonging capitalism, which would otherwise totally collapse and give rise to a utopia according to the specific branch of communism I believe in?" Others underneath though took a vastly more serious approach in their response. It got quite political. I couldn't, in truth, care less. Again, he did a good thing. Why is it such a problem? The context is that he had actually cured the blindness for 1,000 people in a video. One of them, he even bought them a car, just to make their life a bit easier. This is what he does with the money he makes on YouTube. I will though read one reply from James is the Thunder. "Sorry Hunter, but you missed so bad in this. MrBeast may help people, but props up systems that keep people in poverty. Helping a few people here and there does not negate the damage he does by propagating those systems." So this is what happens when you see a good thing and go, "Fam, it's not good enough. You just highlighted the disparity of the system," but that's also part of the problem, by the way, that he's pointing out. "But by helping those people, you're also bad, because you've used that very system to help those people. How dare you? You help the oikari?" The BBC wrote an article titled "MrBeast, Why Has YouTuber Faced Criticism for Blind Surgery Video?" A lot of the issues seem to be people some believe that rich influencers should not be used to try and fix wider problems in society and healthcare. Because Black Pill Boomer, yo, how dare you step in? Some saying that he did it for financial gain, but he himself, MrBeast, had to point out that the average MrBeast video lost $1.5 million last year, so it's clearly not for financial gain. Andrew Hodgson, who is the president of the National Federation of the Blind of the UK, while speaking to BBC Newsbeat, Defund the BBC, said anything that puts a spotlight on such treatable eye conditions like cataracts and provides funding for people to undergo surgery to restore their sight should be welcome. Why would anybody criticize this work and raising awareness of it through film and social media channels? A spokeswoman for Sight Savers, an international charity, added that they were encouraged to see the subject of the global eye health burden being raised to a large public audience. Eye health is often forgotten when it comes to global health conversations, but eye health equals opportunity, allowing children to learn and adults to earn. But as is often the case, people aren't looking at the actual problem. It's not that MrBeast did it, it's that he had to do it, which makes it sound like he was forced. But you know what I mean, don't be pedantic. It highlighted an issue of accessibility. This is in America, a vastly different medical health system to that of a number of other countries. But those same problems persist in other countries where they have social health care. Why? Because there's a shortage of doctors. Or because it's impossible post-coofness to get a doctor's appointment, because the surgery is considered, comparative to others, elective and not necessary or vital. There are many issues we face on this planet, many, when it comes to differing problems concerning health. MrBeast has raised awareness of one of them by fixing the issue for 1,000 people. There are millions more affected, and it would be fantastic for all of them to be cured of this problem. I said earlier it's a 10-minute surgery because that is what a doctor said in the MrBeast video. And just to add to that, the only people whose voices I really care about are those that had the surgery, because they're the ones that benefited from this good deed. Whether the motivation was ill or not, I couldn't care less. The health of the people matter more than anything else. Not that those aforementioned black pill boomers care, because he's done bad for highlighting a problem. He's white male privileged. He's also bad. Insert all other buzzwords and thought-terminating cliche here and end it with MrBeast is bad. When in reality you're narrow-minded, short-sighted perhaps, somewhat ironic considering the nature of the video he made. So ignoring all that, there is another criticism being levied at him, and that is he should be doing this in secret, not blasting it everywhere in the public to increase his own clout and revenue. A criticism I again disagree with, because that same growth allows him to continue to generate additional funds, which means he can continue to help more people. Those that latch onto the whole without capitalism he wouldn't be rich thing forget that he genuinely does give most of it away. I do remember once he'd said his only real source of income was from merch. I don't know if that's true now or not, and quite frankly I don't care. If someone is helping another person, I have no reason to care. By the way, when he did the cataract surgery thing, he also went to Mexico, Brazil, Honduras, further proving the point. He was highlighting the issue of accessibility in countries where this is not as easy to acquire, and then giving many of them tens of thousands of dollars, paying for their college, buying them cars. If he got the views he got on that video in December, there might be an argument he was making money out of it. But the video wasn't released in December, it was released in one of the worst months for YouTube ad revenue. The idea of profit is nigh non-existent, even with the astronomical views he got. Bear in mind here, that video barely passes for additional ads, and I have no doubt that would not have helped in January and February. In fact, up till June, ad revenue increases a little, but it's still pretty bad. If you were on YouTube, you'd know this. So to those who make these arguments and then devolve it down to capitalism, socialism, and all the other bullcrap I couldn't care less about, how about you just focus on the issue at hand? If the issue is people don't have access to this, then that needs to be changed. You don't need to rail on him for using what he has accrued, the support he has cultivated, the community he has grown, as a way of letting out your anger because you don't like that he had to do that to highlight the issue. Learn to be less like someone on Twitter and be a person for a change. A novel concept lost on millions.